You know, I started this little hobby of just starting to rant about small things that are bothering me as I play. Call me a bitch. But I like this overload mechanic. Overload elemental deposit. I think that's really cool. I think it's a unique thing for professions that Blizzard should really do a lot more every. Like, you want to put secondary or tertiary systems into the game that you're just gonna remove later. Do it with professions, because I can almost guarantee no one's really gonna care if you're taking shit out of professions. Professions have been a laughingstock since, I don't know, Wrath or Mob. I think Wrath, when I first started playing, is when they kind of felt relevant a little bit. I'm not sure. Mob was when they felt a little bit more relevant, but only because you could get gear quickly because it was so heavily RNG based, but you still kind of interacted with professions. Oh yeah, and in Legion, where like based on your profession, you can interact with different stuff in the dungeons to cause different effects to happen, which I think was great. It wasn't game breaking. It didn't ruin your run if you couldn't get one, like the Starlight Rose Brew if you're a monk. Now there was ones like an alchemist could just kill the boss at 15% pretty quickly, which is like, that's funny and it's quirky, and you don't always have to do that, but I think just more profession and class interactions like that in dungeons is really cool. They have some of those so far, but so enough of me ranting. Overload, well, I mean, that's the whole point of this, is me ranting. Overload elemental deposit. I thought that was great. The few nodes I used it on, oh, it can give me extra elemental stuff. It can cause different effects. It can cause little chunks to appear that I can mine. That's really cool. I get to a Titan Touch deposit, and I'm like, oh, what's this gonna do? And it consumes the deposit, opens a portal, and I'm like, oh my god, is this kind of like Diablo? I'm gonna go into like a little mining treasure room now. That's really cool. No, you know what it did? It ported me to some random place on the map on top of a random fucking node. Not a better node. Not another node, another elemental node. I mined it now, you don't see it. It teleported me on top of a basic bitch Ceravite node. It consumed my Titan touched node to send me on an RNG journey to a basic bitch Ceravite node. Why? Why? Mining is not engineering. You're not supposed to put in quirky, haha, you think it's funny, malfunctioning, lower quality actually cucks you in the end bullshit like that to mining. That's an engineering saying, Blizzard, if you're just gonna cuck engineering like that. Don't cuck mining like that. So I'm never gonna overload a Titan Touched again because it literally just ruined me getting a Titan Touch because I thought maybe I'm gonna go to like a Diablo 2 style treasure room. Maybe this is like a little Easter egg for miners they get to do. No, you sent me to a random fucking node. God, that doesn't feel good. As soon as I dropped on top of this node, I immediately just felt bad in that moment. I was like, oh, so I spent a 12-hour fucking cooldown ability, by the way, 12-hour cooldown on a Titan Touch to get a basic Severite node because they decided to make this RNG and also give us a long cooldown. That feels terrible.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
So I'm sitting here wondering also what would be a good idea to level my other characters with. And apparently I was told by some guildies that they already nerfed Cobalt Assembly, mob farming for some fucking reason. Because like this seems like a really fun expansion to actually level alts, but at the same time too, I would have rather had Fates where I just do a bunch of world quests and kill a bunch of stuff in a zone in order to level, because I don't want to redo campaign quests and story quests. I don't care to do them. I already know the story. I hate it. It's not my preferred way to level alts. So Cobalt Assembly leveling was fun. Because first off, you have to farm the living crap out of Cobalt Assembly to even level up any of your powers in the Cobalt Assembly. And then even though the Cobalt Assembly has some kind of longevity mechanic to it, to where like you get stronger and stronger because you unlock more of the abilities and special effects and whatnot, once you kind of get into the Cobalt Assembly and you finish what you have to do in there, you're never going to go back. Why would you? Who cares? The open area PvP arena, I guess? But I don't ever see anybody in there personally. And then they nerfed Cobalt Assembly. We're like,
Why?
People loved leveling their alts there, and while they were leveling their alts, they were also, I think, they probably weren't even, because I think you had to do a quest to unlock it, but maybe I'm wrong. But you could also, if I'm wrong, you could level your Cobalt Assembly rep there, so that you'd actually have people who would actually have a higher rep in Cobalt Assembly in your game, instead of the people who interact with the system once while leveling, maybe 2 to 3 to 4 more times for like an hour just for the world quest, and then never touch the system again, and then never level the fucking tree again, because it's kind of pointless. People just go there, people just went there for the campaign, for maybe a world quest, and to level. And then you took away leveling. So now, you know, we have to what? Wait for time walking to come back so we can spam that because that's more efficient. And a lot of people just don't want to do the campaign. Again, even if you can power through it, even if you turn your brain off, it's just a hassle. I just want to sit in an area, kill some stuff, play with my character, not to sit there and click through a bunch of quests and crap. Because running dungeons is not that efficient. You had people of all levels interacting with Cobalt Assembly, actually getting the rep up, leveling characters, using the powers, having a good time with a unique, not a unique, but a reuse system implemented pretty well in my personal opinion, because some of the newer powers are kind of interesting and fun. And then you just gutted it because, you know, Blizzard needs those playtime metrics, baby. You need to be spending an extra couple hours doing campaign quests so it looks better on the fucking quarterly reports. Look at how long our players have been playing because we made leveling ults still pretty fucking tedious.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Okay, so I'm going through all the faction renowns, just looking at what I have unlocked. And it's just a small thing. I go to Centaur and I'm like, okay, what do I have here? I look at this, replacement hooves. This is a quest for you to go start raising a thunder lizard as a mount. And if you actually look at the thunder lizard, like, okay, yeah, it kind of looks unique because it's a baby thunder lizard, but not really. It's just a smaller model thunder lizard that looks a little bit young. In my opinion, like, why? Why is this a renown reward? It's a ground mount. In the expansion, that heavily encourages you not to use ground mounts, except maybe in some dungeons. But even then, you could still just hop on your dragon. It's the expansion of dragon riding. Why are you giving us a renown for a fucking ground mount that doesn't even look that unique? Why not give us a renown reward? And it might be farther down the line here, I don't know. I'm just saying this right now, and I'm talking about it now. Why not give us a renown reward for a very unique cosmetic appearance for our dragon, like our dragon's own Maruk Centaur style helmet, or horns that have like maybe a Maruk Centaur doodads hanging off of them and whatnot. Why not give us a cosmetic like that? Something that actually shows that we got renown up with this faction and rewarded us with something that makes our dragon look cooler like the faction. Now, I could say like, why don't you just give us another type of dragon? But that's obviously quite a tall order, right? We've already gotten 4 of them. There's 5 if you get the Razagath one. I think there's 6. I think there's a PvP one. So maybe they can't do that. Maybe that's actually all the way down the line here. I don't know. But still, like, even for an early renown word, a ground mount that's just a thunder lizard that doesn't even look that unique other than just being a baby version. Like, it's not really, last I looked at it, I'm pretty sure there's not really Maruk Centaur looks to it. So it's like, what's the point? And then it's not even like an immediate reward. You have to like raise the damn thing over a course of a few quests. I think it works the same as the Zoldazar quest where you were raising a mount, and that took like days to do. And it was kind of weirdly RNG. You had to keep coming back randomly just to see if your little pet, I think it was a raptor or something, needed anything. So yeah, this is weird. Giving us a ground mount in an expansion that discourages ground mounts heavily, and nothing cosmetic for your dragon. Hey, classmate, stay quiet so the Grandmaster doesn't hear us talking during training. Could you spare a subscribe and a like? Maybe click the bell as well if it's not too much trouble? Thanks. Oh, Grandmaster's coming this way. Act natural.